It's from Maple Ridge Wind Farm, and it's a true picture of Maple Ridge, but it says accurate depiction. Well, I know that one picture is taken from probably 1,000 feet up in the air. I don't know how accurate it is if these pictures are being taken from an airplane.
The reason I didn't have a problem with that was because it states in there that the photos were presented by the wind developers of the Maple Ridge project.
Right, but it says accurate depiction, and it's, I don't know how accurate it is if they're not taking it ground level. The one picture to the right is taken from, I would say, over number 3 road, which is actually down in the valley. And this is actually looking straight out at them.
Do we want to go through and delete all pictures?
Oh. No.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out that...
Why can't a photograph other than from the ground be an accurate depiction? I don't understand what you mean by that, Tom. It's not computer generated. This is a legitimate photo. It's on the front of one of their publications that you're talking about. May 2000, I can't read the date, but it's on the front of one of their publications.
Well, I get what you mean, but it's supposed to be an accurate depiction. It's not an accurate depiction if you're...
You can go and take this picture and get that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's an accurate depiction. It's not computer generated or a rendering in someone's mind.
I think what he means is that from taking a picture from so far away, you get no realization of the impact of a 465-foot structure right next to a small home. Maybe that's what you need done.
Yeah.
Especially when it's making noise.
I'm just saying it's not too accurate if you can't get that view.
So it is.
Well, I haven't opened an airplane to get it.
I'm not so certain this is taken from an airplane.
It is.
Do you know that for a fact?
That farm right there is on Route 12.
I'm talking about this. You're talking about this.
I said the one to the right. Let's go on.
Okay.
We're just pointing out without changing, where the...
Okay. That point's been made.
One of the things in here that I wanted to point out on page 23, it says that scenic qualities in viewshed can be very subjective. And I don't find that to be necessarily true. I think that when you have massive structures like that, it's pretty well agreed by everyone, including the developers themselves, that industrial wind parks industrialize an area. And the State Office of Historic Parks basically said that these cannot be mitigated. So our scenic quality that we have here in Lyme and Shimo cannot be mitigated once the towers are up. So the developers have been instructed to give us certain monies to pay for the fact that you cannot mitigate your view. So they agreed that these structures would damage our scenic views, and they offered to pay, I believe it was $14,000 to the town of Lyme to put a new roof on the 3 Mile Bay Cemetery and to screen historic structures with some shrubbery. So, just so people are aware of that. That's how much our view is worth. $14,000. We haven't got it yet, I don't think. Have we? Yeah, we got it.
We haven't taken it.
No.
And that's 3 sentences there that I highlighted. Scenic qualities in viewshed can be a very subjective concept. Aesthetics are a very personal thing. One person's trash is another's treasure. That's absolutely true. On page 24, 3rd paragraph down, it says, there are those who would change the comprehensive plan to allow for industrial wind turbine development in a section of our township that is presently viewed as rural farmland. This would dramatically alter the viewshed and quality of the town. And I put a note right in there, that's a subjective statement.
No,
Almost felt like they're trying to tell the people what to think.
No, I'm saying that it's not subjective. Both in the, I believe it was the St. Lawrence FEIS and possibly the BP, I'm not sure, have stated that the viewshed would be altered and it could not be mitigated. You cannot plant trees that are 425 feet high to block moving wind turbines and red lights at night. So basically, they have agreed This is not subjective at all. It is totally objective. The view cannot be mitigated. And it's been sent to SHPO, and they have agreed that it cannot be mitigated. You can read these documents online. So it's not the Economic or the Safety Committee telling us these things. This is coming from their own documents, the developers.
I understand what you're saying.
So it is what it is.
And I had a question for Paul. And this simply was, I don't understand the correlation between quoting the comprehensive plan and offering factual information on the effects of visual impacts, lighting, and shadow flicker. Can you explain where you're coming from with that, please? For some reason, it's just not sinking into this skull.
Okay, well, just for clarification, I didn't write the whole document. We each took sections. So
You should have thought about that before you accepted chairman.
well, I realized the target's on my back, but that's okay. That's a whole bunch of back.
Unless you want to pass it on to one of your committee members.
Address that.
Could you ask the question again, please?
Yeah, I just don't understand the correlation between quoting the comprehensive plan and offering factual information on the effects of visual impacts, lighting,
Based
shadow
on the
flicker.
first, the one at the 99, that's what you're asking? I think the reason that we did a comparison for our benefit, really to know what we were dealing with, and looking at the 99, okay, comprehensive plan, and then comparing it to the draft comprehensive plan. And what we found is, almost word for word, they were almost exact. I mean, the whole philosophy and the whole feeling of it was, we didn't know what we were going to find. But when we looked at the two, and we were very careful, and again, we may have omitted draft, but I think we tried to correct that. We were careful to differentiate between the 99 and the draft. But the purpose of that was to show they were very, very similar. There hadn't been a change in philosophy.
Well, what
Did I
does-
answer your question?
No, what does using the comprehensive plan, how does that offer factual information on the effects of the wind turbines?
Because my understanding is that when you have zoning, you have to take into consideration the comprehensive plan. There were many different ways that you could approach this whole idea of viewshed. It's a difficult one. And I sort of thought that, okay, where have we dealt with viewshed? We've dealt with viewshed very, very seriously in the comprehensive plan. And my understanding, and I think we quoted in there, the law says that you have to follow the comprehensive plan, and if you don't, then the powers that be are liable or whatever. So I thought that was an important issue for you to know and for the community to know. That's why we approached it in that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
You understand the factual part of that answer?
Yes.
Also?
Yep. Yep. Zoning related. On 25, I just had a big highlight there, and it was a recommendation. On the statement, third from the bottom, SLW states that mitigating visual impacts of wind turbines is limited due to